welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what is on my phone. I have an Android S8 and I got it a few months ago, I think about 2 months ago, and I've been really enjoying this phone for quite a number of reasons, and I have a lot of apps on it that I'm using on a very regular basis. So we're going to hop onto my phone and I'm going to share with you exactly what apps I have on it. Alright, so here we are on my phone, and as you can see, I've got this background with the kind of marble look, and not only do I really like how that looks, but I also have it across all the apps in my phone. So like if I click on messages and you see my texts here, then you can see that that background has followed me in here, and then like down at the bottom, the buttons are on that background that's a nice peachy color, and I just didn't even know that those backgrounds or those themes existed until I got this phone. So I'm probably way behind the crowd, and probably everyone else knows this, but if you didn't realize this, then just make sure that when you're like changing your phone's background that you actually go and look and see if you have themes available, because I just really like how it makes my phone look now. So then as far as the apps that I have on my phone go, obviously up here at the top I've got this Google search bar, and then over here the first app that is actually out on my screen is this one called Planoly. And if you haven't used Planoly before, basically it just allows you to plan your Instagram feed and schedule posts. So I use this to get pictures from my computer onto my Instagram, and also to schedule posts. So I can like pre-write posts in here and put them with a picture that I've already edited and include all the hashtags. And then whenever I want to post that, I can just click that post now button and it will post onto my Instagram. So I don't use this all the time for every single post that I do by any means, but it's helpful for me to plan out posts ahead of time. Then I've got this folder here called Media, and I use this folder a lot. It has all my different social media type things in it. Audible, I love listening to audiobooks. I do that all the time. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you check that one out. And then of course YouTube, Amazon Kindle. So this is for reading ebooks. I honestly probably should get rid of that because I don't really like reading ebooks. I just find it really difficult to read them, well, on my phone. I mean, obviously they're useful on the computer if you're learning something, but I don't really enjoy reading ebooks. And then I have Facebook, I have the Bible app, I have podcast player. I use that one all the time. Obviously, there's lots of different podcast players. This one is called Castbox, and it works totally fine. It does have ads unless you pay for premium, but you can just skip the ads. I mean, I've used a few different ones. They all do about the same thing, but this one does everything that I need for it to do. Maybe I should make another video about the podcasts that I listen to. Let me know down below in the comments if you would like to see a video like that. And then I have LinkedIn. I've been kind of dabbling with LinkedIn. I don't know if I like it or not, but I'm still giving it a shot. And then obviously Instagram and Instagram TV. And I've been mostly enjoying Instagram a lot lately. Aside from YouTube, that's my main platform, aside from my Facebook groups. I really like my Facebook groups too. And I keep those in a folder called Media, both so that they are organized, but also so that they're not all over my home screen and like constantly making me like tempted to click on them. Especially feel like Facebook and Instagram, once I click on them and just scrolling, and I hate that. So that's why I have them in a folder. Then I have this one called Shopping, which is kind of a weird label, but I've got the Amazon app there, which I use if I'm ordering stuff on Amazon, of course, and then the Play Store for downloading apps, and the Starbucks app, which makes it convenient to order and pay at Starbucks and allows you to get points. Then I've got Files, and I use these ones all the time also. Obviously, Google Drive, I use that to store files. Google Sheets is just for spreadsheets, but it allows me to edit spreadsheets. And what I use that mostly for is for budgeting, actually. Then I've got Evernote, which I use constantly. It stores so much information for me. I mean, everything from like pre-written Instagram posts to video outlines, video ideas, planning different courses that I'm creating, everything. It's just, yeah, my life is on Evernote. And then gallery, just so I can get to the pictures on my phone. Trello is great for making lists. If you click here, then you can see all the different boards I have, which are basically ways to organize information. So you click on one of these boards, and then you have all of these lists inside of the app itself, inside of the board. So you can list different items on it, anything from a grocery list to things that you are planning to post on social media. And then you can click on them and you can put information on the back of them too. So it's just good for organizing information. I use it in a really different way than I use like Evernote. On Evernote, I'm putting more like long form content where I'm writing things out extensively. On Trello, it's more about keeping small bits of information organized. And then this is the Google Photos app, which I have synced to my computer and to my phone. And basically every single picture that gets on my phone or gets on my computer, like for any reason, goes into this app just automatically. I have an automatically sync. And so it's so convenient because it means that I'm never worried about losing pictures. If maybe I haven't organized all my files properly or I accidentally delete something, it's all saved inside of here. And I can access it from my computer or my phone, obviously. And I can also search for it. So I can search by date or by location. Obviously, it's mostly full of a gazillion pictures of my kids, and then some like brand stuff for my website and for my YouTube channel. Also, all of my videos automatically get uploaded into here, which again, just makes it so I'm not so worried about possibly losing them. Then I've got this app here called The Skim. If you haven't heard of this, it's pretty fun. It's a news app actually, but it's specifically for like millennial-ish age females, or maybe a little older than that, 20 to 40-year-old females. And so it kind of like cuts through all of the normal news jargon and tries to make news stories just a little bit more simpler and more interesting. And I don't mean simpler like watering them down so much. I just mean sometimes when you try to read the news, you don't have any context because there's just, you know, if you're not reading the news every single day, which I definitely don't want to do. So inside this app, all of the stories will give you the context that you need and kind of tell you like a little bit of backstory, but it also keeps them super short. So it will just tell you a story and like in a couple paragraphs, which is great for people who have busy lives and don't want to spend their life just reading the news, but they still want to stay informed. So I like this app a lot. Of course, I don't always agree with everything on it, but it still is good for just being aware of what's going on in the world. Then I have this folder here called Tools, and I mean, it's kind of obvious what's in here. Calculator, calendar, the YouTube Studio app. I use the YouTube Studio app all the time to moderate my comments on my channel, to check my analytics, and just to like make sure that everything on my channel is going well, I guess, to kind of keep my eye on it. Let's see, what else is in here? I obviously am pregnant right now, so I have the pregnancy app on here, and then I have a couple photo editing apps like Visco. I don't really use those that much because honestly, if I'm going to edit a picture, I would way rather do it on my computer. The other app that I do use on here a lot is the visual voicemail app, which just allows me to see my voicemails instead of having to listen to all of them. So it makes it just a lot faster to sort through my voicemails. Okay, and then of course I've got Clock app, which I mean sounds super boring, but I use this app constantly for setting alarms and for the stopwatch. I like to time things that I tend to do too slowly. So for example, I take forever in the morning to put my makeup on, so I time myself when I put my makeup on to help myself stay focused and to help me do it a little bit faster. But just random stuff like that that I might waste a lot of time on if I didn't, you know, if I wasn't staying so focused. And then I use the timer app in kind of the same way, but I use the timer app more when I'm trying to get work done, because we all know that principle of work expands to fill however much time you give it. So if I just try to work through my to-do list, then it will take me literally all day to get through my to-do list. But instead, if I give myself like 15 minutes for a task or just half an hour for a task, then I might not get through the entire task in 15 minutes, but then I can set one more 15-minute timer and then it's done. And then I can move on to the next task. And I find that doing this cuts my workload in half. Okay, and then I've got the calendar app here. That's pretty obvious. I use it for scheduling all my appointments. If you want to know more about how I organize my life and especially my schedule, then make sure you check out my recent video about my current planning system. And then of course I have the Maps app, which I'm not going to open up here because it takes a minute to load and everything. But we all know what the Maps app does, right? And then smack here in the center, if I click on that, I can see the weather report. Right now it's 75 and sunny, which is great, but it is kind of hot here lately. So anyway, this just provides me the weather report really easily. Then I've got two more screens, but only two. This one is for my upcoming appointments. So I look at this every single day just to see what's on my calendar. And then I have my email, which intentionally is the third over screen so that I'm not seeing it constantly. But this just allows me to keep my eye on my inbox and make sure that if something important comes in, I do notice it relatively quickly. I try not to check my email more than a couple times a day, but I will take just a peek at that a few more times, like I said, just to make sure there's nothing urgent. So obviously I have a few more apps on my phone, but the rest of them I don't use frequently enough to have anywhere on the home screen. So I don't feel like any of these are probably worth mentioning. I'm constantly decluttering apps on my phone and trying to get rid of them so that it's not too overwhelming. But then I'm also downloading new apps to like try them out. So that's pretty much everything that's on my phone. Okay, well that's all I've got for you guys today, but thank you so much for watching. I hope that you really enjoyed seeing inside my phone and exactly what apps I'm using on a regular basis. And if you enjoyed this video, then make sure you hit the thumbs up button and of course subscribe to my channel. I make 2 videos every week, not normally about my phone, normally about success, entrepreneurship, and personal development. So if those sound like things that you're interested in learning more about, if you're working on developing yourself into a better person, a better version of yourself, and becoming more successful, then I would love to have you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss my next video. After you subscribe to my channel, you can click right over here to check out another video that I think you'll really enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Gillian Perkins, and I really hope that I see you again next time.